A Study in Scarlet, Part 10, The Net Tightens. The story of the past had cast its long shadow, but now events in London moved swiftly toward their conclusion. Holmes, having traced the cabman's secret, explained to Watson that the time had come to act. The puzzle pieces were nearly complete, and only one step remained: to close the net around the man who had carried vengeance across oceans and years. Scotland Yard was still adrift in confusion. Gregson and Lestrade argued over rival theories, each clinging to scraps of evidence that pointed in different directions. To them, the case was a storm of contradictions. To Holmes, however, it was a clear pattern. He watched them with quiet amusement, never revealing the depth of what he already knew. Holmes devised a plan. With the help of the police, though they barely understood their own role, he arranged for the cabman to be summoned once more. This time, however, the meeting would not be casual. It would be the moment of revelation. Holmes prepared carefully, ensuring that the man would be unable to slip away when the truth emerged. Watson, tense with anticipation, accompanied him. He admired Holmes's calm confidence, though he could not entirely share it. To Watson, the cabman was still a mystery, a man carrying secrets too heavy to predict. Yet Holmes moved as though the outcome was already written. The meeting was set in Baker Street, the very heart of Holmes's domain. The cabman arrived unsuspecting, his manner polite, even deferential. But Holmes's eyes never left him. With quiet precision, Holmes began to speak. Not of London, but of the West. Not of the present, but of the past. He recounted the tale of the young woman, the suitor, and the vow that had endured through time. At first, the cabman listened in silence, his expression unreadable. But as Holmes's words wove together the threads of memory and consequence, his composure faltered. Watson saw it clearly. The tightening of the jaw, the flicker in the eyes, the weight of truth pressing down. When Holmes finally laid the last piece of the story upon the table, the room fell into silence. The cabman lowered his head as though the burden of years had suddenly grown heavier than he could bear. Holmes's voice softened. "The net is closed, sir. The story you have carried is now known, and it will find its rightful place." Watson sat motionless, realizing that the chase was over. The truth had stepped into the light, and there was no turning back.